Hi there. This is Sahan, the lead developer behind Enforced Flow, the extension platform for Zapier, Make, and n8n. In this video, we are going to take a look at setting up a smart lead routing automation that takes customer inquiries through a contact form of a website and route it among three different agents based on different criteria. And for this, we will be using the advanced round robin extension of Enforced Flow. Let's take a look at the business case. So the business case is we have this fictional company called Acme Software. On Acme Software's website, there's a contact form which takes the customer's name, email, and customer is prompted to select a product that they're interested in and then a message. Our goal is to take this information and route it among three different agents based on a specific criteria. So to recap the agents, we have agent John Doe who speaks English and Spanish, and John knows everything about all the products, and he's a senior sales associate. And then we have Mary. Mary can only speak English and she can cover all the products, and she's an associate level sales representative. And then finally we have Sarah, and Sarah speaks both English and Spanish, and she only knows about the CRM product, and then she's a junior sales associate. What we are going to do is we are going to take all this information from the form. Based on the message the user provide, we will detect the language using an AI step inside Zapier, and the product, based on the product that they select, we will route it to the agent who can handle that product. So the first step is to configure our agents and the advanced round robin configuration. For this, we need an Enforced Flow account. I'm going to sign up for a new account here from the website. Just go to sign up link. I'm going to put my name and my email going to be contact@enforcedflow.com. I'm going to provide a password here and click register. And so it prompts us to create a key. We don't need this right this second. I'm gonna head over to this tab called Advanced Round Robin, where we will be configuring the agents and the criteria for these agents. So all you have to do is create a group. I'm gonna name this Acme website contact form, create group, and the first thing we have to do is we have to decide what information we need to associate with the agents, because when we build the automation, we will rely on this information to route the lead to. So in this case, I only want to save the agent's email. In different cases, you might want to capture the agent's Slack username, for example, or some other piece of information. My goal is to take the contact details and email these details to the agent. So all I need is the email apart from the agent's name. So I just added what we call an agent information field called email. The next step is to configure the fields. Now for fields, the first field we need is a field to set the language criteria, and then we'll move on to products, and then finally we'll set a weight field to prioritize based on the seniority. All right, so let's start with the language first. For this, we can use a multi-select field, and I'm going to call this language, and for this we will have English, then we will have Spanish. Okay, and that looks good. And the second field we need is one for products. Okay, I'm going to add a products field. Again, the multi-select can be used for this. Call it products, and the product's going to be Acme CRM. The three products we have, all these options are represented exactly like that in the website's product dropdown, same names. All right, that looks good. And finally, for the seniority, I'm going to add what we called a weight field. So the weight field, I am going to call it seniority and save. This field will allow us to set the priority based on the seniority. That's pretty much what we have to do for field configuration. So we added language field with a multi-select that has two options for English and Spanish. For products, we added another multi-select with all the three product options we have. For seniority, we added a what we call a weight field, which we will configure later on when adding agents. Before we move on to Zapier setup, we can do a quick internal test within Enforced Flow. Just head over to testing tab and you can play around with different criteria, as well as you can visualize how the weight field is working in action. So the weight field, the way we have configured it, gives John the sort of 6 tickets consecutively, and then move on to Mary D for the next 3 tickets, and finally give 1 ticket to Sarah, and then come back up to John. And of course, this depends on the filters, so meaning it depends on the language and the product line. Maybe John might get, the Mary might get skipped completely and move on to Sarah. So let me just pick English, for example, and CRM. And if I test, and as expected, it goes to John. And if I pick Spanish and submit, it'll again go to John. And if I keep submitting 3, 4, 5, 6, and on the 7th one, it went to Mary. So just to refer back to our example here now, if I switch to Spanish and submit, it'll go to Sarah. So yeah, that allows you to essentially test out how it works. Now let's move on to our Zapier setup. Now that the Zapier setup is done, let's do a quick test. Before that, I'm gonna publish my Zap to make sure all the updates are live. Okay, that's done. And then I'm gonna head over to my contact form and I'm gonna submit with the details, my details pretty much. Flow, and for the product, I'm gonna select analytics. Hello, can I get more details? I'm gonna send the message, and I am gonna come back to my email inbox and wait for that email notification, which will be intended for a sales associate. So we got the email, new lead, and if I check the content, it's meant for John at Enforced Flow, and this is a catch-all email inbox, so we can see the agent's email, the customer's name, the product, everything looks good. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. And if we submit the contact form with Spanish, for example, it'll go through the same process. And now just to test this with a different criteria, let's remove John from Spanish, and I'm going to update. That leaves so Sarah is English, and that leaves Mary is English, and that leaves Sarah as the only one who can handle Spanish related inquiries. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to contact us and fill up this contact form again. Sahan, I'm going to name this Sahan plus Spanish at Enforced Flow, and we have Acme CRM for Sarah, so I'm just going to pick that, and I just got the same message translated to Spanish through ChatGPT. So I'm going to submit this message, and so this time it should pick Sarah because only Sarah can handle Spanish requests. So let's give it a minute. Okay, we got the message, and as we can see, it went to Sarah and name. I forgot to merge the email address here. But yeah, the round robin logic works perfectly. And if we check the Zapier's task history here, so let me close the Copilot and okay, go to Zap runs, and you can see. Let me refresh, and you can see the one that happened just now. So it received my email and my message, and the AI step detected language as Spanish, and all those information went to enforced flow, and enforced flow returned Sarah, and then we sent the email to Sarah, which got into the email catch-all email inbox of enforced flow. Similar to the Zapier setup, in Make, I have a webhook catch and then an AI step, and then we just need to configure the enforced flow step here. The contact form is connected to this webhook capture, and I've copied this URL and connected with my contact form. And when it submits, it's returning the same fields as Zapier. And for the Open AI step here, or the AI step, I'm using Open AI with a simple prompt, pretty much mentioning the same thing that I had in Zapier, to make sure that I get that what we call the structured output. I am prompting it to output in JSON format, and I'm giving an example explicitly mentioning it can only be English or Spanish, and it can default to English. And within the prompt, I am setting the message like this, because I'm using this generate a response step, which doesn't allow you to like add user messages in a thread or in a similar way. And also just scrolling down a little bit here, under output format, I am setting this to JSON object, so that when this step executes, I get a like a JSON object that I can use in the next step. So that looks good. What I'm gonna do is I am going to add the enforced flow app. You can search that, available in make.com app marketplace. Search and pick make an API call, because we are going to use the API for this. And make gonna need an API key as well. I'm gonna come to my dashboard where I created a key for Zapier, and I'm gonna use the same key here, which can be used in any platform pretty much. It's not limited to Zapier. And I'm gonna add a new connection. I'm gonna name it website form. Click save. That should work. Give it a second. And so for the URL, we need to grab the API URL here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to advanced round robin and click guide to get to the guide website. And I'm going to go to overview here and navigate to API reference. And under API reference, make sure you pick get next available agent. And I just need the URL right here. I'm going to select it, copy it, and come back to make, paste here. And we need to remove everything till API right here, so that it looks like this. And this group ID placeholder, we need to replace it with our round robin group ID, which is gonna be ID 10. It's shown right here when you're in the listing. Right, so I'm gonna replace that with 10. Now this is gonna be a post request, and for the query string, we need to pass the same two fields that we configured in Zapier, which are essentially the two multi-select fields we have, language and seniority. All you need to do is for language, copy this field right here because that's the query parameter that we have to use, and paste here. And for the language, I'm gonna use the detected language output from the OpenAI step. And then for the product, I'm gonna use products, and that's gonna come from the webhook capture. Right, looks good. And if I run and a test here, so for the product, it's going to be say Acme CRM, and for the detected language, say English. And again, these two should match exactly what we put in those multi-select options. And if I run, it should return an output, and that is the agent information, which we can use in the next step, which is going to be the email step, similar to what we had. So I have an email step configured with a connection. For the to address, we just need to use the agent's email. Make sure you run it at least once so this information is available to you. Subject, new lead available. And similar to our Zapier setup, you can include the contact details from this time I'm going to include the email from the form, include in the product, the message. And again, it goes to the agent that we picked through enforced flow. And that is how you set this up in Make. n8n going to be similar to Make as well. So I'm going to use the API, and for that I am going to select an HTTP call right here. And for the API call, we need a post request, and from the API docs, which can be accessed through the website as well. Go to enforcedflow.com and just scroll down API. And when you go to the API, expand advanced round robin and select get next agent endpoint. And I'm going to paste that. And we need the group ID again. So for group ID, just come to advanced round robin listing in the app once you're logged in. And this is the ID that you need to use. So I'm going to use that ID here. So remove that, put 10, looks good. And I need to set up authentication. And for that, select generic credential type and click bearer. And you need a token. And for that, you can use the same key that we created for Zapier, or you can create a new key if you want to. Paste that and click save. I'm going to name this so that I know what it is next. All right, save, close, and that looks good. And for the query parameters, again, the field is going to be, under the group, we need to send information for the language and products. So copy the key right here. This is the query parameter, and it's going to be name, and I'm going to add another one for the products where it's going to be selected automatically. And I'm going to hard code, so as the concept is almost the same. So if I set English, and for the product Acme CRM, and if I click execute, you can see the API call running and returning the information, the agent information along with the name and the email. So you can use that information in consecutive steps, very similar to Make. Similar to Zapier and Make setup, the language should ideally come from a AI step that detects the language, and then the product can come from the webhook catch in my case, or something like Google Form or Typeform. That is it, folks. So as you can see, it's really easy to set up a complex workflow and hook it into Make, Zapier, or n8n. If you have any questions, you can refer to the docs, or feel free to send a support request through the help and support within the Enforced Flow app. Thanks for watching.